Hello, hello. I've arrived. Alright, so it is time for some more of The Legend of Zelda. Been a good long time since we played this game, huh? Good long time. How long has it been? I don't remember offhand, but I'm not going to spend the time to check at this particular moment in time. Instead, we're just going to play the game. But yes. So, what is there else to say? But yeah. So the usual Valhalla collab will not be happening tomorrow because I have a meeting tomorrow that I have to attend to. So, if Sheps and I do end up doing a stream this week, it will be on Friday instead, most likely. And if we do not, if Sheps is unavailable, then I may or may not stream on that day anyway. And if I do, we'll probably be getting back to Tales of Arise. But yes. So, where was I? So, Legend of Zelda today. My Switch has just informed me that the battery in my Joy-Con is low, which I expected. Because yes, I've had my Switch unplugged for a very long time here. Not quite as long as I've not played The Legend of Zelda, but pretty close to that long. Yes, it has been unplugged and uncharging and was basically completely empty of battery when I went to plug it in today, which is part of why I'm a little bit late here. I also had to do some setup tasks because I realized that not everything was as it should be. But what can you do, I suppose? So yes. And I did say, okay, yeah, Tales of Arise, if we don't end up playing Valhalla on Friday. So yeah, for the minute, since I have two games, we will probably be going back and forth between Tales of Arise and The Legend of Zelda, just whenever we play them. I will try to do at least 3 streams a week, including the 2 collab streams, the one on Tuesday, the Terraria collab at this point, and then the one on Thursday, usually, the Valhalla collab. But yeah, unfortunately, my VOD for, well, I guess it wasn't my VOD, it was my whole stream, I guess. Or not the whole stream, but the stream for last yesterday's Terraria stream. I did forget to unmute myself for a pretty significant portion of the stream, about an hour, after I got back from a short break. So, I don't think that there's anything I can really do about that, per se. I might be able to, if I were to get a hold of one of the other, one of my collab partners' VODs, I might be able to splice the audio in from that. But I'm not sure if I have the technical proficiency to be able to do that, like, well. So, plus, you know, with other people's setups, we might have other, you know, sounds that correspond to alerts or whatever on their channel that didn't happen on my stream and all that. So it could be a bit distracting, but I imagine it'd probably be less distracting than an hour of not being able to hear me talk. So, I'll see what my options are, and I will do my best to fix the issue. And if I can't, then, well, the VOD's just gonna have an hour of me not talking. But, let's see, what else? I guess that's basically all of the business we need to handle. Let's see, I think I do have another thing. I don't know if I've talked about it before, but I think for right now I will keep it under my hat, if I haven't already talked about it. And I think, let's see, we already talked about Tuesday. We already talked about the not Thursday stream, the instead Friday stream, and what that will entail one way or the other. And we already talked about today's stream. So I think we'll just hop on over to the game zone. Oh, we're not playing Valhalla. Let me fix that here real quick. The Legend of Zelda. Oops. There we go. But yes. Oh. There we go. I forgot how to press the start button. Because yeah, usually I do play on 2 Joy-Cons. I guess I don't really know why I chose to only play with 1 today. That is a little bit odd now that I think about it. Oh, hold on, there's a ring in the middle of the screen. That seems unusual and not ideal. Is that happening on my end, or is that also on the stream? Hold on. That seems like it shouldn't be a thing. Nope, it's definitely showing up on the stream. Alright, let's fix that. Hold on. Unusual. Yeah, I was seeing that earlier, but then it went away, and now it's back. So that's moderately concerning. What could that be? The only thing it seems like it could be... Or wait. Oh, is that it? Okay, yeah, I think the problem is solved. Cool. Alright, yeah, we're good. Problem solved. But yeah, anyway, so, not too long ago, I don't remember when precisely, but not too long ago, I undertook an undertaking, we'll call it, and I went and I mapped out the whole map in a spreadsheet. And you may be asking yourself, why would you do this in a spreadsheet as opposed to just, like, drawing it, be it on paper or, you know, not? And to this I have no meaningful answer. It simply is. Whoop. But yes, so I went around the whole overworld and I mapped out every single space of the overworld. And I just realized, are we not... Whoops, don't do that. Ah, hold on. Oh, this save file doesn't have all the progress we made. Alright, what do I press to... There we go. Plus ZR. Okay. Alright, no wonder something felt off. Is this the right thing? Hold on. This doesn't feel right. Okay, so yeah, so this is the file I think I would... I think this is the file I used when I was exploring around. And this is the one that I used when we were... the last save I made when I was actually playing the game, normally. So let's return to this one. This seems like the appropriate place to be. Alright, yeah. Okay, I've got my bearings much better now. But even so, I need to catch my thoughts again, because they've escaped me. Okay, so yes, spreadsheet, map, yeah. I went around and I mapped out every single square of the overworld, basically just with the thought being that if I had missed anything, you know, I would find it. Because we've been having a lot of issues with Wizzrobes in particular recently. Hence why I have named the stream after them, in their dubious honor. But yes, we've been having a lot of trouble with Wizzrobes in this dungeon, and I don't know, I was just looking around to see if there was anywhere that I could think I could find maybe some sort of upgrade or anything I could do to improve my chances somewhat. Oh, thank you very much, Fairy. And I did make a couple of discoveries. I also cheated a little bit. Because I sort of initially set out basically on every game that I play on this channel. But in this game in particular, I initially set out with the intention of not looking things up. And I did end up looking up the location of the magical sword. We had already established that it was in the graveyard, but I figured, you know, it's gonna take me like forever to find it on my own. I don't know where in any of these graves it is. I knew it was in a grave. I'd even tried to interact with the graves before, I think. But I didn't know specifically which one to interact with, or what circumstances to interact with it under. And so I looked that up, and I do know how to get the magical sword now, broadly speaking. I also know that I can't get it just yet, because you need to have a certain number of hearts, but I don't remember how many. I suppose I don't need to bother with this pea hat. I don't know where I'm going. I'm moving away from the dungeon. I don't know why I'm doing that. I guess I just wanted more space to think, rather than having to do it in Wizzrobe Central. And that's fair, I suppose. It is really weird playing this on just one Joy-Con after having played the entire playthrough on multiple Joy-Cons. At one point, I did have not a, like, pro controller, but, like, a, off-brand GameCube controller for the Switch. And, that broke on me the day that I got it. So, that was, not the most reliable controller I've ever wielded. Alright, I'm definitely not going in there with less than full health, so... Whoops. Alright, yes, we do have a potion. A medicine, rather. I think that's full medicine, but I'm not entirely sure. Man, I guess we're not... Well, I was gonna say we're not that low on health, but we are at, you know, we are out of Sword Beam territory. Honestly, the pausing is the weirdest. I don't know why they didn't just map start and select to the SR and SL buttons. That feels like maybe not the most intuitive choice, but it seems like the most usable choice. At least for me. Oh, right, okay. So the Wizzrobes are not vulnerable to this weapon. I knew there was some reason I was hesitating. But yes, at this point, most of my knowledge about this game is subconscious. Oops. And yeah, the lack of analog movement, or rather the presence of analog movement, because analog movement would be joystick. Or a joystick is analog. The lack of digital movement is causing me some issues here. Because yeah, I have one Joy-Con that's charging. I have two Joy-Cons that are completely depleted, and I've got one that's basically depleted in my hands right now. I've got a GameCube controller that I can't use, and that's the extent of my control options at the moment. So probably we'll end up taking more than one death. I mean, that was almost certainly going to happen anyway, considering our track record, but you know. This is the importance of preparation. And so I guess that's, you know, that's also the lesson that of running around the overworld to map it out, I suppose. I will say though, I was surprised at how thorough I had been previously with my exploration, because I was expecting to find, like, you know, I'm cursed currently. Oh, well, goodbye. I'm sorry, shield. Alright, we definitely can't survive this place without a magic shield, I don't think. Alright. Alright, we can't use the potion. The potion is... Not now. But yeah, I'm pretty sure I lost my magic shield. Yes, I did. so we need to go resolve that. Thankfully, allow me to consult my map. I didn't notate my map very well. So I'm not super sure of where I am, or where anything else is relative to me. This isn't a very good map, but it is a map. But yeah, so like I was saying, I was expecting to have to do this mapping and discover that I had left vast swaths of the overworld completely unexplored, but I don't think there was a single space that I went to that I didn't at least faintly recall being at before. Which was a nice realization. I guess we can leave the pea hat alone. Alright, so now that we're in the graveyard, I know where we are. And if actually I should zoom in on the map so I can actually read the text. Alright. I had zoomed out to be able to see the entire map at once, but really if you can't tell where you are in the map, it doesn't matter if you can see the whole thing, does it? Sit. But yes. So... okay, yeah, if we go yonder, eastwards, we should be able to find a store that sells magic shields. Because I am most certainly, as stated, most certainly not trying my luck. I kind of wonder if you were to buy the blue medicine while you have blue medicine, would it combine into a red medicine, or do you need to buy the red medicine to get red medicine? Okay, cool. Oops. Nope, no thank you, I just bought medicine. Thank you for asking, though. But yes, anyway, we've solved this puzzle. It feels like less enemies are spawning in this time immediately after I died, which is nice of them. But yes, so it should be in this next screen. Oops. And indeed it is. Nice. But yeah, knowing where things are relative to each other, I suppose, is probably the biggest benefit that this map has given me. I no longer have to rely purely on my memory. But yeah, so I can easily tell when I do and don't have the magic shield, because the magic shield is much, much bigger. But yes, so, preparation. Preparation is important. But yeah, in general, during my streaming, I've been reluctant to play games off-stream. I've sort of, oh dear. Or I've been reluctant to play a game that I've been playing on stream, off-stream. Alright. Dealt with all of them. Because I don't know, I was just sort of in the mindset that, you know, anything that I do in the game that I'm playing on stream, I should be doing on stream. So I can, you know, share my reactions and all that. But this has led to a lot of, let's say, frustrating. A lot of frustrating hours spent in various games, not knowing what I was doing or where I was going. And me being completely unable to rectify that, or unwilling to rectify that by, you know, familiarizing myself with what I'm doing. Nope, nope, alright. Okay, so, likes are really kind of our biggest threat, to be honest. because the Wizzrobes are terrible. That cannot be understated. But the like-likes will take away our only reasonable defense against Wizzrobes. And yeah, the Wizzrobes are immune to boomerangs. Yeah, they're immune to magic, they're immune to boomerangs. Immune to magic, immune to boomerangs. So we're in a pretty unfortunate situation right now. But yeah, I guess to continue to expound upon the thoughts that I've been having, you know, I've sort of been aiming for, I guess, sort of a sense of authenticity is the best way I can think to put it. Or sort of authenticity in my streams, having it just be, you know, my completely unfiltered reactions, just completely raw with, but I guess, you know, what you see is what you get. What you see is what you get. I would certainly, you know, the stream would be a little bit different if I was familiar with these things, but it would also be significantly less frustrating. It would be a lot less frustrating for me, and perhaps a little bit more entertaining if I was somewhat more familiar with what I'm doing. Because, you know, things like this I don't think are very fun, where I'm just sort of going around rather aimlessly at this point, because now I need to earn enough rupees to get another shield. And the reason that this is an issue is because I don't want to, you know, reload my suspend save. I only use those for, well, for one thing I use that to ensure that I didn't make progress off-stream when I was doing my mapping and whatnot. And also to, yeah, I use those to ensure that I don't make progress off-stream, or I used it to ensure that I didn't make progress off-stream when I was doing my mapping. Thank you. I used that to ensure that I didn't make progress off-stream, and I used it to ensure that the progress I did make on stream stayed between streams, because I don't remember exactly how the saving system in this game works, and thus I don't know how to save between sessions, as we demonstrated with the start of this one, wherein I started with 2 fewer heart containers than I did before, and very little idea of how that had happened because I forgot the particulars. But yes, so modern technology allows me to just do that and, you know, bring us back to a state before I lost my magic shield. And herein lies the dilemma, I suppose. Because again, this series of playing The Legend of Zelda and Metroid and Super Mario Bros., I set out with the very specific goal of avoiding using the pause, or not the pause function, but yeah, avoiding using, like, you know, the suspend menu and suspend saves and all that, except where, you know, between sessions, like I said, to preserve, make sure that my save file was preserved as necessary. And of course, I didn't use it for that during Super Mario Bros. Every time I started up a Super Mario Bros. Stream, I started from the first world and just went through it all again. But yes, so that's how it was during Super Mario Bros. But, yeah, like I said, I'm sort of trying to figure out whether I want to prioritize having an authentic, you know, quote-unquote experience, or having an experience that is enjoyable, basically. Because I don't really want to spend... I'll tell you what I really don't want to. I don't want to use the joystick to move around on a game that was only designed for you using a D-pad. That's another thing I don't want, but that's a problem that I cannot solve right now because I do not have my Joy-Cons charged because I didn't think that far ahead. But yes. So the conflict, then, is between me wanting to have a sort of shoot for an idealized, authentic experience to what the game would have been like to, more or less, to a person playing it on the NES around release. Which is another reason why I specifically try to avoid outside information for this game in particular. And also Super Mario Brothers. So yes, so it's a question of what do I value? Do I value a stream that I will enjoy doing, or do I value a stream that do I value sort of this sense of integrity, I guess, of making a commitment and sort of sticking to it, regardless of circumstances. And I will say, it has been a rough few streams. It has been a rough few streams trying to conquer this most recent dungeon, this labyrinth, whose number I do not recall offhand. I'm going to die. But yes, it has been a rough few streams trying to challenge this labyrinth and make our way through it. It has been not tremendously enjoyable in many ways. And, you know, I don't want to stream if I'm not enjoying it. But I also don't want to not do what I say I'm going to do, basically. I do want to stick with the commitment I made. Whether or not I make that commitment for future games remains to be seen. But I think for right now, for right now at least, I will continue to play as I have been playing, with limited outside knowledge, and I guess I've already, you know, compromised my integrity, in a sense. So on the one hand, you could say, why bother? But on the other hand, you could say, you know, since you've already compromised it, why, you know. Zola is being very troubling today. But yeah, why bother to preserve it if you've already sort of compromised it once? Or I guess, you know, now that you have broken the rules, you should stick even more strictly to them. Both are reasonable points of view, I suppose. But yeah. It's an interesting dilemma I face. No, it's probably not all that interesting. It's probably also... I'm probably the only person here who's thinking that deeply about it, to be totally honest. Because, yeah, this, you know, grinding for rupees so that I can purchase another magic shield is not fun, I don't think. It's not, terribly entertaining, and it's not, you know, novel content. It's just me making very slow progress, and we very well, you know, it could be another 30 minutes, or probably more than that, of essentially nothing. Nothing new, and nothing particularly noteworthy until such time as we... Let's see, what's the combination for the maze? Oh yes. Northwest, southwest. But yes, it could be a good long while before we make progress enough to return to where we were, basically, until we break even. During which time, I, for one, am not enjoying the experience tremendously. But yeah. If nothing else, it makes me appreciate the convenience that is baked into modern games, for sure. I suppose, you know, there's a reason why losing this much progress, yeah, I guess there's a reason why games nowadays generally don't force this sort of activity out of you. Cause you to lose a very important upgrade just for a single moment of carelessness, and then just sort of give you no choice but to just, you know, spend 30 minutes plus hoping that you will get random drops enough to acquire the currency to get that item again. There's a reason why we don't do that anymore. There's a reason why that sort of thing is not common in modern game design. And that's because it's not super enjoyable. There's an argument to be made that it makes the game more challenging. But I feel like there's a difference between being challenging and being punishing of mistakes. Because you've got games like you've got games that are very challenging, like Super Meat Boy. But the game is extremely lenient on mistakes, or at least it's not lenient on mistakes. But, you know, when you make a mistake, the worst you will be set back by is seconds. Perhaps even less than a second, depending on how long the stage is. You know. And that is a game that is very hard. And if it was a game where you could be set back by, again, half an hour to an hour or more for a single hit that you take, then that sort of difficulty would not be acceptable. I don't think. The level of difficulty that is present in Super Meat Boy, for instance. And even in, you know, your Dark Souls games and adjacent series, and the sort of subgenre, or I guess super genre almost, because it can be applied to a lot of different unrelated genres. But the sort of the notion of a Souls-like game, or the in Souls-like games, generally, while they, you know, punish mistakes with death swiftly, generally you are allowed to make more mistakes before you die. And generally, it's not as difficult to recover from your losses upon death. Or I guess, you know, failure, more broadly. Because what has happened is not that I have died. Or, I have died, but the setback is not that I have died. The setback is that I have lost my magic shield due to making contact with a like. And due to that, again, it's going to take me a lot longer to recover than if I had simply died. If I had been killed by Wizzrobe, that would have been dramatically preferable to making contact even once with a like. and I don't know if it's possible. I feel like I might have done it before, but I don't recall specifically. But yeah, I don't know for sure if it is possible to get caught by a like, and then escape it quickly enough that your shield does not get eaten. I think that's a thing that I did once, I want to say. So perhaps it is not as unfair as I'm making it out to be. But it is still difficult. And it is still frustrating, and it is still left me spending, I don't know, probably 15-20 minutes at this point, essentially complaining about it, but sort of couching it in more critical language, I guess. Complaining, but in a bit of a fancy way. Yeah, because this is basically all just to say, I don't like this game design choice. And just sort of an extended session of me whining about not taking the option that allows me to avoid the consequences of this particular game design choice. Let's see, yeah, we haven't gone north yet. Because, yeah, we hadn't cleared out the enemies yet. And then south and west. But yeah, after spending some time playing some games that I'm more familiar with and better at, the sting of the extremely unforgiving nature of getting hit by a like once in Wizzrobe Central hurts all the more. Because yeah, I've definitely sort of felt recently like most of the games that I've been playing for a good while on the stream were games that I wasn't very good at. Borderlands 3 and The Legend of Zelda and Super Mario Bros. And I guess I'm not terrible at any of those games, but I certainly would not consider myself good at any of them. I do not feel especially proficient, even though I have beaten 2 out of 3 of those games so far. I don't feel particularly proficient in any of them. And yeah, repeated small mistakes leading to huge time losses in Wizzrobe Central have been one of the major catalysts for that. But yeah, I've been wanting, partially as a result of that, and partially just out of a desire for some novelty, I've been wanting to play games that I'm familiar with recently. Originally, if I hadn't ended up getting gifted a copy of Tales of Arise, I would have been playing Sonic Adventure 2 instead as my other series, which is a game that I have not beaten, but one that I am reasonably familiar with. I wouldn't say I'm, it's not a game that I have practiced, that I have polished. Again, I've never beaten it, and it's been years since I played it. And when I play it, it will be on PC as opposed to the GameCube that I originally played it on, so it'll be even more unfamiliar to me. But, whoops. Yeah. One thing I've been thinking about a lot recently is just sort of the assumptions that I've made as a streamer. That being mostly that what people want to see is content of me playing games that I am unfamiliar with. I sort of I don't know, have been operating under the assumption that that is sort of the assumed mode of play, so to speak, for Twitch. That's really not the appropriate use of that phrase, so maybe I should reconsider using that phrase. But, yeah, to be more precise, me sort of assuming that, I guess, you know, again, Twitch viewers want to see sort of first reactions, I guess, is sort of the assumption that I've been working under. And that assumption is completely baseless. I have no idea why I think that. But I had been thinking that, and that's informed a lot of the game choices that I've made. And again, led to me playing a long series of games, Super Mario Bros. And Borderlands 3, and The Legend of Zelda, that I'm not very good at, and don't feel very comfortable playing. And this is not to say that I haven't enjoyed playing these games. I've enjoyed them quite a bit. Some more than others, but I have enjoyed them, and I do continue enjoying them. I'm not enjoying this. I'm not enjoying this right now, the stream that I'm doing currently. This is very unfun, I will admit. But, like, you know, broadly speaking, other than that, before we got to Wizzrobe Central, I was enjoying The Legend of Zelda. Super Mario Bros. Was a bit frustrating all the way through, but it became slightly more... The ratio of frustrating to fun went up slightly as time went on, but it remained fairly enjoyable for its entire length. Borderlands 3 sort of went up and down, I guess. There were points that I really enjoyed and points that I really didn't enjoy. But yeah. But nothing thus far in my streaming career has come close to the level of simply not wanting to participate in what's happening right now than me, again, consistently failing in Wizzrobe Central. And honestly, I didn't lose my shield all that much previously. Mostly the issue before was just that I would die, which again is significantly preferable to losing my shield. But yeah. Really, I'm probably... As I do a lot, I'm probably taking things too seriously. It's not like I'm, you know... It's not like I am under some sort of contractual obligation, and thus if I go against my stated intention of not using the suspend menu for convenience sake during streams, it isn't as though if I do that, then I will face any sort of consequences. Honestly, I probably wouldn't even feel very bad about it. But you know, I'm committed at this point. I'm committed to not having fun. A real shame. Sit. Honestly, it's probably best to, as much as I can, grind within the dungeon. Because that way, if I die, at least I won't have to make my way back to the dungeon, and it's pretty close to the shop. But yeah, anyway, the experience of playing a whole bunch of games that I'm not very good at in a row has again sort of driven me to consider doing more content that I'm more familiar with, basically. And of course, I do still intend to do Metroid, following roughly the same stipulations as I have for Super Mario Bros. And The Legend of Zelda. So, maybe I haven't really learned my lesson. At least not fully, I guess. I consciously understand that what I'm doing is not great. Not great for content and not great for my own edification. But yet I persist. Yeah, now I've kind of bummed myself out. Thinking too much about the mistakes I've made and how easy it would be to correct them. I sure hope that the game automatically pauses if I lose battery, because it would be a real shame if it didn't. I might lose my shield again. That would be... Oh! Alright, battery's gone. Okay. That was a wild ride. Give me a moment while I clamber over my desk to get my my other Joy-Con. My goodness. Alright, we're back in business. So yes, I do now have a pair of Joy-Cons charging on my Nintendo Switch. So, I guess I probably won't switch over to those immediately once they're done charging, because I won't know when they're done charging. Or I guess they don't need to be fully charged, they just need to be charged enough. Charged enough that I... Man, the different Joy-Con position between the two different Joy-Cons is really throwing me for a loop here. But yeah, this conundrum of my extreme improficiency really could have been solved by practice, you know? Doing a non-zero amount of practice. Wait, hold on, what do I... Oh, right. I was looking for the plus button, but I couldn't find it, but that's because I'm, you know, not on this controller. Alright, this is... having to relearn the controls all over again. Twice in one stream I'm having to relearn the controls. Nice, nice. Alright, there we go. First I was pausing with one thumb, now I'm pausing with the other thumb. All very challenging. Yeah, I don't know. I guess despite what my choice of games may have implied, I usually don't search that much for challenge specifically in games that I play. I guess, I haven't played all that many hard games. Because, yeah, I guess... I don't know. My sense of what is and isn't a hard game probably isn't super accurate, because I don't know. I'm not super... I haven't played a whole lot of different games, to be honest. And again, a lot of the games that I played... Yeah, I don't know. A lot of the games that I played most extensively lean towards easy games. So yeah, usually I don't... Usually I prefer games that are easy. To a certain extent. I like sort of complexity in execution. The ability to, do all sorts of different types of inputs for different results. Which is why I like fighting games. And I also like games where you have sort of a lot of movement tech and such. But simply games that are difficult to perform well in, I guess. Well, perform well is... I've strayed too far from the dungeon. Perform well in is not the phrasing I'm probably looking for. But yeah. I don't know, I guess I look for games that are easy to play, but perhaps hard to master, as one might say. Wasn't expecting you. That could have been an issue if I was paying even the slightest bit less attention. That could have ended me very quickly. But yeah. I suppose probably the biggest consequence of my unwillingness to practice this game, or any other game. Well, I say unwillingness to practice, but I did practice at the end of Super Mario Bros. And I enjoyed the end of Super Mario Bros. A lot more for it, I think. But, oh dear. This is unrelated to what I was just talking about, but a thing that keeps happening that is sort of in my mind is that, and I don't know, I guess this isn't really the place to discuss it, because I'm not expecting a response to that will solve the problem, but I've been encountering a lot of the... OBS keeps saying that, like, the encoder is being overloaded, which it really shouldn't be, because I'm, not playing this game on my graphics card, I'm playing it on my Nintendo Switch, which I'm, capturing from a capture card. And for a while I had assumed that the encoder overloading error messages that I was getting on OBS were due to me playing Borderlands 2, or Borderlands 3, which is, I don't know, it feels like it shouldn't be as demanding of computer resources as it is. Feels like it could probably be better optimized. Oh dear. Yeah, if we can pull that off more often. And of course I don't think there's any way for me to know which is the boss Wizzrobe immediately. But yeah. Anyway, encoder. I keep getting encoder overload issues, and I really feel like I shouldn't be. Because yeah, let me just double check, because I'm not using basically anything, really. I restarted my computer before this, so it's not like I have a whole lot running in the background. I am... yeah. I don't know, I'm really... again, I'm not using much in the way of graphics capabilities. And like, you know, I've got a graphics card that has a built-in, like, encoder thing. Like NVIDIA, this NVIDIA card has a built-in, like, I don't know what the word would be. A chip, I guess it would be, maybe? It has a component that specifically handles, that is specifically supposed to handle graphics with regards to streaming and all that. Like, the encoding should be happening completely separate from, like, everything else that the graphics card does. And I don't have any reason to believe that that is not the case currently. Sit. And so yes, despite that, I do still keep getting very frequent encoder overload errors. Which again, it really shouldn't feel like should be the case. Because yeah, I've opened up my task manager here and it's like it's only like 40% of the encoding, or at least it only says, you know, there's a section that says video encode, and it's only at 40% usage about. So, I don't think, like, the game shouldn't be just randomly spiking, or the stream shouldn't be randomly spiking in how difficult it is to encode, I don't think. So maybe I should just, like, keep an eye on this. There could be some other issue going on. But yeah, as far as I can tell, it's only just fluctuating between, like, you know, around 40% to around 42%. That's the widest margin I've seen. So, I don't know, maybe I've just got my settings set up wrong. Yeah, I don't think... the fact that I'm recording this also shouldn't contribute that much to it, I don't think. Maybe it would, but again, I'm not getting... yeah, I'm not utilizing, like, all of my resources. So... or even, like, a moderately high amount of resources. I'm not even using half of my resources with regards to the usual GPU stuff or the specific encoding business that is built into the card. So, I have no answer for this question, I guess. Tonight's been really a night of pondering, of asking questions that I don't know the answer to, and not really expecting an answer. Just sort of getting things off my chest, I suppose. But man, I really do miss that magic shield. And that was almost like the completely perfect Lionel position. Yeah, I think I'm pretty close to being able to afford the shield now. I think it was only like 138 rupees. It might even have been less than that. But now that we are in danger and close to being able to afford it if we weren't able to before, now we need to take fewer risks and not more of them, as is often my inclination. But yeah. Again, a lot of the issues I face while streaming would have stemmed from probably what is a misapprehension of what is expected and desired of me. You know, I feel like I need to, I feel a sense of obligation to be making sort of constant forward progress, so I get impatient. And that results in me making a lot of mistakes, which results in this game especially, me losing a lot of progress and having to start over again, getting frustrated. And honestly, like, the sense of frustration from this dungeon specifically is a big reason why it took me, like, probably almost 2 months or more at this point to get back to playing The Legend of Zelda after going on break. And why I felt the need to, you know, map out the whole overworld just to be sure that I wasn't missing something crucial that was preventing me from, you know, making meaningful progress here. Because I figured, I guess, on some subconscious level that I must be missing something. There must be something wrong. And that's very common for me, I guess. A very common mindset for me to sort of think that if something is going wrong, and especially if it's going wrong consistently, I tend to assume that the problem must be something that I've completely not thought of. Something completely outside of my sphere of awareness, rather than just being a problem that I could easily fix. Because again, I could easily fix the problem of this dungeon is incredibly difficult for me to make any meaningful progress in by practicing against fighting Wizzrobes off-stream. And indeed I almost did. I almost did spend some time doing that. And that's a thing that I did before when I was playing Super Mario Bros., and it didn't lead to a remarkably terrible stream, so... And it's also not against the rules that I established, so I really don't have any reason not to. I don't have any reason not to practice. But yeah. So anyway, I feel the need to make constant forward progress, so I get impatient, and I make a lot of mistakes as a result, which, again, in this game specifically, leads to big losses in time. But yeah, I feel the need to make constant forward progress. Yeah, again, I feel a sense of obligation to any time that I spend in a game that is a game that I am streaming has to be on stream, or else, I don't know, or else I feel bad, I guess. Out of a sense that as a Twitch streamer, I should be streaming sort of live, first-time reactions to everything I encounter in the game. So every single second that I play the game should be streamed, or else it should not happen at all. Which again is sort of why I've avoided playing a lot of games that I enjoy. Out of a sense of, you know, I've already played this, so it's not new and fresh to me, so it wouldn't make for a good stream. When that's really not the case at all. Honestly, some of the streams that I've enjoyed the most, and some of the streams that have been the most enjoyed by others, are streams of games that I am familiar with, that I'm competent in. You know. That's the whole concept behind speedruns, which I love, and which I have done, and which I love watching. You know. People playing games that they're really good at. But yeah. Yeah, it's probably less that I sort of have this subconscious need to, you know, perform in a certain way to be valid as a Twitch streamer. And probably more so just, you know, I made certain choices and now my subconscious mind is trying, or my, when I think of why, when I try to confront the problem, I just sort of try to, I'm sort of justifying the choices I've already made, rather than, actually, yeah, a lot of these mindsets probably come more from me trying to justify choices that I've already made than they do from actual thoughts that I had. or actual thoughts that I had, like, in the moment. But yes, it's a challenging thing, to be sure. But one thing that I definitely need to keep in mind is that there's really, it's not like there's a specific way to do, anything, really. There's not a specific way to do streams. There's not a specific way to do anything. But yeah, at least with regards to content creation like this. If I want to play only games that I've never played before, that's fine. And if I want to play, only games that I've played hundreds of times before, then that's also fine. Alright, I just saw the encoder overload again. And yeah, there was no significant difference in my CPU usage, no significant difference in my memory, in my RAM usage, no significant difference in my video encode usage. So, yeah, I don't know. But yeah, honestly, probably the only way to stream wrong is to stream in a way that is not enjoyable and not creatively fulfilling. Which is to say, the way that I'm streaming right now, to be honest. Sort of mindlessly throwing myself at a problem, not taking the time to think about it, or figure out how to overcome the issues, because I'm not giving myself the time to. And yeah, I guess that's another sort of thing. Not sort of spending time thinking about what I'm doing, because I feel the need to just continuously speak. Not taking time to... honestly, the fact that I'm pausing as much in my speech today, and not just stuttering a whole lot, is an improvement from usual. It is the result of conscious effort on my part to not feel the need to continuously fill up the entire stream with speech. Taking some time here and there to think about what I'm going to say before I say it. And just time to pause as necessary. Also, my throat is slightly sore today, which is another contributing factor. But yeah, it is the result of conscious effort on my part to not spend the whole stream filling up as much of it with speech as possible. Because yeah, it really isn't about how much I say. It's really more important that what I say is something that matters. Because I could just, if I wanted to produce vocalizations, I could just, make nonsensical noise constantly with no meaning throughout any dead air. And that would be, there would be no dead air there. Which would be, in theory, according to the sort of standard that I've been adhering to, ideal. But it would also be extremely unpleasant, I imagine. Just constant, incoherent utterances with no purpose, other than just to fill space. And so yes, we're going to change our tactics up a little bit. We're going to use some bombs here, I think. Oh. I wasn't paying attention to my health there. That was on me. Yeah, it goes to show just how fast you die here, huh? Yeah, boomerang first. Right, boomerang doesn't affect Wizzrobes. But yeah, adhering to weird preconceived notions that I cannot think of when or why I picked up has probably done the most harm to my enjoyment of my streaming of anything that I've talked about tonight. But even with all that, I am, I don't want to give the impression that I'm not enjoying the stream or anything, because I am. I am enjoying this, to a certain extent. I'm not enjoying it as much as I could be, perhaps. And it may not come through in my voice, or my tone, or my mannerisms, but I am, again, really quite frustrated with a lot of the game so far tonight. Alright, and we're now out of Sword Beam territory. I was going to switch over to the Magic Rod. Not to deal with the Wizzrobes, because I do know that they're immune to it. But to deal with the likes. Oh, well. Yeah, honestly, I think at this point it's probably... I'm either going to have to load the suspend point, or I'm just going to have to stop for tonight and pick this up once I've had a chance to practice. Because, yeah, coming at a late game dungeon again, after using a controller that I've not used for the entire game... Oops. Yeah, not using a controller that I have not, or a control scheme that I haven't developed any muscle memory for. Again, this, yeah, wow. Yeah, that was 3 months ago. 3 months ago was this save here. So yeah, so 3 months of rust, approximately, other than the very little, practice I got from... Yeah, the very little practice I got from exploring the overworld. Yeah, 3 months of rust, a controller that I'm not familiar with, and then switching midstream to another controller that I'm not familiar with. But yeah, it's all a little bit draining. A little bit challenging. Not the most enjoyable stream I've had by a long shot. And I do apologize for what has felt like sort of an extended period of me just sort of complaining a lot. Because I do try to be very positive in my streams. That is my preference. But yeah, I don't know. I think I'm just gonna have to call it for tonight. Because I am, as per the saying, straight up not having a good time. And yeah, that is unfortunate, and I don't know, not really. Yeah, it's unfortunate. It really is a shame. But yeah, I don't know. I don't want to force this. I want this to be a smooth and enjoyable experience. And, I want to be good at the games that I play on stream. Because yeah, I don't know. Yeah. Yeah, once again, sorry for being a little bit of a downer tonight. I thank you for your patience. But yeah, we're gonna have to call it for tonight. I'm gonna get some more practice, and we're gonna get better at the Legend of Zelda. Cause yeah, jumping into a late game dungeon in a very challenging and very unforgiving game with, again, a control scheme that I'm not used to after spending months not playing it. It's just not a good experience. Not a good experience, and it's really hard to continue to be engaging and positive as I try to be under the current circumstances. So yeah, we're definitely gonna have to call it for tonight, because I don't after this latest like encounter, I don't think I can keep it up for much longer. Alright, so tonight we are going to visit Colum the Golem. Good friend of the stream, good old friend of the stream. But yeah, looks like they are in the middle of playing a game called Ring of Pain, which I've never heard of before. But yeah, we're gonna go drop by, say hi. The customary raid message is, as always, we have arrived. Oops. We have arrived. There we go, if I can send the message. There we go. And we'll give it a quick minute to go through the ads. And I guess while we do that, we'll talk about business. So, since this was a short stream, I guess I might go out of my way to do another stream to sort of make up for it. But yeah, so tomorrow we'll most likely be doing some more Valhalla. Sheppy Sheps and I. We'll be playing some more Valhalla. At this point, most likely, but maybe not for sure, on Friday, we will be playing some more Legend of Zelda. We're actually running really low on the raid timer, so let's just wrap up, I guess. So, thank you all for being here tonight. I hope you have had a fine night. I hope that you'll continue to have a fine night every night, and I hope that you'll be well until the next time I see you. Thank you all very much, and farewell.